Webinars are back, and this is exceptionally good news for you, especially if you're an info product owner, you're a coach, or you run a consulting business, and maybe even if you own a software company or an agency as well. But Charlie, why is it a good thing that webinars are back? And if you feel like the lead quality from your VSL funnel has not quite been up to scratch recently, or you've been looking for more leverage inside of your sales process, then in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why webinars can solve for your lead quality, they can skyrocket your close rates to 75% plus, and they can solve your acquisition and trust issues, as well as making you a fuck ton of money in the process. I'm also going to show you how we've been implementing webinars for our clients. I'm going to give you the script that we use to write the webinars for our clients, as well as the best practices and what we've been seeing that has been working versus what has not been working very well. And if you want our webinar funnel breakdown, it's a Miro doc with our webinar framework script, then I will leave a link in the description for you to grab a copy. It's called the First Webby Playbook. And if you're wondering why to listen to us, it's because we run a company called Webinar Wizards, and my name's Charlie McCormack. I'm the founder of that company. It's because we specialize in doing info products, coaching webinars for software companies as well. This is a property offer that we worked on. We made them 138K in new revenue. 38K of that came in the week after the webinar. The rest came from the follow-up in the next few months. This was from one live webinar campaign with zero ad spend and 126 people who attended. Aston paid us £3,500 and 15% of sales to do's for them. Made Callum Carver £119,000 in new revenue from webinar campaigns that we've done for him so far. There's a case study on my YouTube channel with Callum. We had active resale £7,500 from £450 in ad spend on a low ticket product funnel. So why are webinars back? Webinars are back, and webinars are crushing, or were crushing, for internet marketers in like 2016 and 2020 until everybody and their grandma and the dog started using them, and everyone decided to switch up to start using a video sales letter funnel. Now, VSLs got the point across quicker. They didn't rely on other metrics such as show rate, which took a lot of people away from webinars, and were preferred by direct response marketers and info marketers for a while. However, the market has now gotten sick of seeing the same ClickFunnels or the same Go High Level landing page that they knew if they applied or booked a call, they'd be met with some 19-year-old high-ticket closer on the other end. But people trust the guru, and this is the reason that webinars are coming back so much. Now, people want to spend time with the talking head, the guru, the person they see online, the offer owner, because they're the person who they're watching day in, day out. They're the people whose content they're watching. They're the people whose tweets they're consuming. They're the people whose YouTube video they're watching. They are the person that people trust, and they've probably been burnt before, whether that be a bad offer, a bad closer, and they just want to spend some time with the offer owner before getting on a call, because everyone is selling everything, everyone's making guarantees, everyone's running ads, everyone's posting content, everyone's posting short form, everyone's doing VSLs and everything. They want education before they make an investment, and this is because webinars are perfect for this. Now, bonus points if you're a highly skilled presenter with a personal brand, because your webinars are going to absolutely crush for you. And if you aren't a highly skilled presenter, then you need to make sure that you practice the webinar with your team before you do it, or if you want to work with us, then we can work with you to make sure that you're confident, and we'll practice with you. This will come with time, and if you want to see someone who does really good webinars, study Tony Robbins. But webinars are different today than they were 5 years ago, so you can be far less scripted with webinars today than you could with webinars 5 years ago. You can be more authentic in the webinars today than you could 5 years ago, and you can add far more interaction in the Q&As, pauses during the education section, and real-time feedback if you want to do like a workshop type Webby, than you could 5 years ago. You can now be a human like you would if they were already in your one-to-one program. And these are intangible when it comes to modern day webinars, but these are the things that are making massive impact and making the webinar funnel come back and be even more powerful than last time, because people lack trust. And someone might just buy something from you because you answered their question thoroughly on the webinar. Now, another reason the webinars are coming back is because on average, prospects will spend about 3 to 5 minutes on a pre-recorded VSL, right? But on a webinar, they spend 60 to 90 minutes with you in a live environment where there's far more rapport being built. And which one is going to make people trust you more? It's probably going to be a webinar. And webinars build this parasocial relationship that people need now in order to exchange money with you, whereas VSLs do not. So how often should you do live webinars? Now, many people might dispute this, but me and the info marketers who I know, me and the offer owners who I know, and our clients who we run them for, when I talk about webinars at the moment, I don't mean automated or evergreen or just-in-time webinars, right? These serve a purpose, but we don't recommend or typically provide this service to our webinar clients. I'm talking about live webinars, and more specifically, monthly live webinars. Now, this is the best way to get signups and not to rinse through your audience and book a chunk of 2 weeks of qualified calls every single month. Now, I've seen Jeremy Haynes agree with me on this. I've seen people in the info marketing space agree with me on this. Live monthly webinars are seemingly what people are doing at the moment, and that is what is working. Now, we've tested weekly, we've tested bi-weekly, we've tested quarterly. Monthly is what we have landed on, and this is because it creates real scarcity without burning out your audience. If you do it too often, there's no urgency for people to join because they know that they could just join the one next week. And quarterly is too long to run split tests on the messaging, the funnel, the presentation, and obviously to actually make the most out of the webinar funnel as a whole. So monthly allows you to run the perfect cycle. This is the way that we're running things with our clients at the moment, and what's working well for us is you have the day of the webinar, and then you have 2 weeks of qualified calls, you have appointment setters reaching out, you have the calls who actually get booked directly from the webinar, the self-bookings, you have people who apply to be followed up with, you have 1 week to gather the feedback from the previous webinar, oh, I've gone off there, 1 week to gather the webinar feedback and the data from the closers and the customers to iterate on it, and then 1 week for promotion for the next campaign. So it's this 4-week cycle of doing, earning, iterating, and then doing again with more promotion. Now this 4-week cycle, we get the feedback we need, we get the iteration we need, and if you need the math, here's what our math is looking like at the moment. We're looking at good close rates, good show rates, good qualified application rates because of the processes that we're putting in place. So if you get this right, you're using an organic audience, you could be looking at 45% show rate. If you're using an application rate, if you're getting people to apply for a book a call, you could be expecting 30% of people to actually book on that 30 to 40%, and the show rates are great, the close rates are great. I'm actually out here with a closer in Mallorca at the moment on one of our webinar offers, and he's closing at 75% for the Webby calls this week, so we're doing well. Can you keep your VSL, right? Just because webinars are back, doesn't mean you need to get rid of your VSL. Never shut down anything that is profitably acquiring you clients. Your VSL is for 24/7 bookings to keep the calls coming in, while your monthly webinar gives you those 2 weeks, that big conversion event for the most qualified prospects and re-engaging VSL opt-ins and non-closers. Webinars and VSLs don't have to be an either or an and or, it's a both, right? This is what we're doing with our clients at the moment. The real magic happens when you're retargeting people who've watched your VSL but didn't convert or book a call, or the people who've opted in for your newsletter, for your lead magnets and not booked a call yet. These are warm prospects, but what they're waiting for is a conversion event. They're waiting for a reason to act, and a webinar is exactly what they are getting. And this is a strategy that's working really well for us, right? Promotion. How are we promoting our webinars at the moment? We are currently promoting our webinars. We're leveraging email, we're leveraging content, primarily Instagram, stories, and reels. We're also doing retargeting ads, right? So here's a case study, not from one of our clients, but from Daniel Fazio at Client Ascension. He put $1,000 into retargeting ads from his YouTube lead magnets and his VSL, and spun up 300K from a challenge funnel, which is just a 5-day Webby with extra training. He also made money on the ticket sales and the normal VIP as well. A K in ad spend, plus some organic promo, 300K just from a one-to-many funnel. Now, you can use image ads, you can use video ads. For that reselling offer, when we were running ads on TikTok, when we were running ads on Meta, we were using maybe, I think we made like 15 statics and maybe 5 videos of the different kind of offer owners in the videos. It worked really well for us. We were getting £1 signups from TikTok, which was pretty insane. In terms of the emails, we've seen great results from 7 to 10 day email promos, starting with the value-based content first and then making kind of softer call to actions to the webinar. So for example, introduce a topic, talk about how you're going to be expanding that on a free class next week. And then as it gets closer, the last 3 to 4 days, you want to start pushing a bit more. Now you need to be structuring the name of your webinar, the kind of offer of your webinar, similar to how you would structure your offer, right? Especially if you're marketing to cold traffic. What you'll learn, you want a time frame in there, you want a unique mechanism in there. So here's what we're doing for clients at the moment. We're pitching this as if it's an actual offer. We have the unique mechanism, we have the without, we have the time frame here, we have using skills that you already have. Here's the reselling offer, right? I don't know why that's so blurry, but how we got access to 52 of the best organic suppliers, the best authentic suppliers for reselling businesses, and what they're hiding from you. We're creating that curiosity. Cold traffic loves this. Now, we're not pitching on webinars anymore. We're booking people in for calls, right? Do not give people the option to buy on a webinar. The rule of one, book a call only. When you offer a buy now or a book a call or just a buy now, you reduce the overall conversions, right? You should be redirecting everybody to an application. Once they apply, if they're qualified, they get to book a call straight away. Those calls are laydowns. Now, everyone who doesn't qualify immediately doesn't see the calendar, and the SDRs or the appointment setters are reaching out to them straight away. This makes sure that everyone who's qualified gets the spots the next day on the calendar, so they're closing easily. They're just laydowns. The people who don't have the money, we get the SDRs to reach out to them, see how much money they do have, see if we can get them on a payment plan or whatever, and then we'll book them in from a call. Because what we don't want is we don't want all the unqualified people booking in and then them taking up the spaces of the qualified people. So we let everyone who's qualified immediately book. We get get 3-4 days booked out, and then what we'll do is reach back out to everyone and get them booked in on days 5, 6, and 7 and beyond from the campaign. Now, we're selling high ticket on the call, right? We're not pitching mid-ticket like typically people used to do on Webbies. They'd sell something for $9.97 or, 1.5K or whatever. Your overall cash collected and your revenue will be higher by selling your high ticket programs on webinars. And pitch on the call is too aggressive for today's market, right? It's not just me saying this, Jeremy Haynes is saying this, other people are saying this, Daniel Fazio is saying this, other webinar guys are saying this, right? Your close rate on those calls with organic traffic and a good webinar will be 60 to 75% because you're dealing with educated, qualified people who already feel like they've received, they're already sold, right? They're just getting on the call to pay. One client's VSL close rate that we work with, his VSL close rate is 35%, his webinar book calls are 65%, simply just by putting people through a better nurture sequence. Now, how are we following up with these people? The way that we're following up with these people is in this order. The self-bookings are being qualified first. The next day or even that day, depending on when you're doing the webinar, making sure that they actually are qualified, they haven't lied on the type form and they're actually going to show up. Once those people have been called, we're going to hit up the people who applied, they didn't qualify straight away or they didn't book, answer a few questions, see if they can get them on a payment plan, get them booked in. Then people who didn't apply or book, so they're just the people who are on the webinar, the SDRs are calling them, and then the people who didn't show up are getting sent the replay. Once they click on the replay, we're then getting the SDRs to hit them up and follow them up. So that is why webinars are back. This is what we are actively doing for clients if you want to do your first webinar. I hope you understand why webinars being back is such good news, and all you have to do is build the funnel once, you build the presentation once, you build all the assets once, you iterate on it, you run it monthly or every 45 days and you reap all of the benefits of doing webinars without fucking up your VSL funnel too much. Now, if you want to do this yourself, what you can do is go to my 1.5-hour video where I show you exactly how to do a webinar, or you can go and download my Miro doc, laying out the funnel, laying out how to set everything up alongside the video, as well as our webinar script framework. Now, if you want us to do this for you, we will guarantee you £50,000 from a webinar in 90 days, or we'll send you your money back. Offer and pricing details are no opt-in. In my video sales letter in the description, you can see our pricing, you can see how we work, you can see the full range of case studies that we've gotten for people. Thank you for watching. Hope you got some value. Webinars are back. Okay, webinars are back. If you want to do your first webinar either with us or using our resources, you can go and download the Webby link in the description, or you can go and book a call with us. Love you all. Webbies are back. Bye-bye.